Welcome back to Recharge, powered by RE/MAX of Michigan, where it's all about real stories, real strategies, real estate. My name is Kaylee Wilkinson, and I'll be your host for today's episode, where I'm joined by the dynamic duo behind Rooted Real Estate of Greater Lansing, Adriane Lau and Maggie Gerich. They are out of East Lansing, the Lansing area, RE/MAX real estate professionals, and from the early days of figuring it all out to creating a culture that blends fun with fierce dedication, Maggie and Adriane have shaped a team where friendship fuels success. So let's go ahead and dive in. Adriane, Maggie, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Of course. So let's start at the very beginning. What drew you each to real estate, and what did those early days look like?
Well, I grew up in the business. My dad was one of the first, I think, first agents with the RE/MAX when it came to Lansing. So, I mean, I remember like on a sick day laying on the floor at the West office at RE/MAX.
How'd you have to answer your phone at home?
Yeah, and there were no cell phones. So yeah, we had to answer the phone professionally. So I kind of was being trained from a very young age.
You're groomed a little bit.
After college, I did come straight into the business. So.
Wow. Okay.
And I was already there. I started as an assistant. I was working in a restaurant, and one of the agents was also working at the restaurant. And she's like, "Hey, our team is looking for an administrative assistant. Is that something you're interested in?"
Okay.
Like, yes. And that was 2003.
Wow. Awesome.
Yep.
So we know you now as team leaders, right? But your careers didn't start that way. You started solo agents. Can you walk us through the growth that took you from a lone wolf to a team leader?
So I think that honestly, it was the industry as a whole that was evolving. Because when I also started as an assistant for my dad in 2003. So we started the same year and then became like a licensed producing agent in 2006. So that was really when I started in this side of it. But teams just weren't a thing then.
Right.
It was just a different structure. And I think people started to see that if they joined together, they could optimize their resources by sharing, help with staff and just everything that goes into it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it was an evolution.
Okay. That makes sense.
I've worked on teams, whether it's traditional or like they don't call it a team, but it is a team through the years. And I've done everything that you can do within a team. So from just an assistant clearing off floppy disks, like when that's how we took our pictures, to being a transaction coordinator, to doing licensed work and just showings and everywhere in between.
Yeah.
And I think for me, for what pulls at my heart and where I feel most comfortable is when I'm working with people. I have no interest in doing this by myself. Sounds awful and really lonely.
Not really.
But also, if you do that, good for you.
Yeah, sure.
No shame.
It doesn't work for everybody, personalities to work on a team, and that's okay.
Of course.
But I get so much more out of it being able to share in the wins with our team members, as well as helping when people are really down, or they help me when I'm feeling down. To not have a group of people that you're doing that with sounds
hard.
Yes. Harder.
Because
it's still hard, but it's just
a different kind.
Choose your hard.
Yeah.
I've chosen to do that with other people.
Yeah. So in the early days, were there any mentors for each of you that helped you create who you are now?
So definitely my dad for me, because he really, like, we joke about when we were young, but when I got into the business, he really was helping an immense amount. Fred Fry for me, even over the years, like even after he had sold the business, he still would answer questions. And definitely Bob Plesher too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Love
he was
Bob.
a great leader. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still alive, guys.
Yeah. I love him.
He just retired.
Yeah. He's off in the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We texted last week.
He rode into the sunset on ours. Yeah.
He posted on Facebook, or somebody did. I'm sure he didn't. But For me, I was actually, when I was in high school and early out of high school, right as I was starting into real estate, I worked for a restaurant who was owned by cousins who were really good friends. And the way that they ran their business was so beautiful to watch. The way that they took on projects to do improvements on the restaurant was really interesting, and it just worked.
Yeah.
And then also Adriane.
Yeah.
Because we've grown up together, like, and gone through all of the stages of life together, kind of in tandem.
How did you guys first meet?
Literally at Remax.
Yeah. Really?
Because we had both started in 2003 and we were like 19 and it was just a bunch of old people.
Yeah.
They were like our age.
Yeah. We're
old people now.
Yeah. We were the youngest people in the building. So we're like, oh, you seem cool.
Yeah.
And so we met and started having lunches, and we've really just always have been each other's, like if there's like a hard question or a hard transaction. And then as we became team leaders, to talk about
challenges
that come along with that.
It can be lonely when we were each leading our own teams. To have someone to bounce those ideas off of was very nice.
Mm-hmm.
But at what point did you realize that you guys were aligned enough in personality, vision, work ethic, you name it, to create one cohesive team?
I think it was a long time coming. Like, it was like we would have these lunches and we'd be like, oh, I wish there was a way that we could make this work together. And then finally we were just like, let's just do it. Like, and there were a lot of, bumps in combining teams that were already established and the size that our teams were.
Mm-hmm.
And, so it wasn't all sunshine and butterflies.
But it also helped because we'd been talking to each other about how our team structures were set up. We pretty much were set up the same, like very, very similar breakdowns of everything, from like the way that people like are paid and
like splits and
everything.
All that stuff was already exactly the same. So
and production wise, we've always been very, very neck and neck. Like without trying, it's just that's how it happens. And our teams were too, and our teams were like mirror images of each other. So it was, we joked that first year that it was the Brady Bunch.
How would you like describe your different personalities and like how they work together? Because you two truly are very opposite, but also have the same values aligned. And how does that work? What does that look like for you? And how would you describe that to somebody?
Today I think is how we describe
that.
So
you guys don't know this, but we got the questions in advance and I answered all of them, printed them out, typed them up. And Maggie was like, oh, shoot, I got to look at those questions as she's driving here, eating lunch. Like, that is the juxtaposition.
I will say, I printed them out 2 weeks ago. They've been in my planner that entire time.
You looked at them.
Nothing you'll say is a surprise.
Right. You're
like,
open book, as you said, right?
I need to color code this spreadsheet.
But also we value order. Yeah. We will do a great many hard things for a sticker or a check mark. We don't do it for the money or the clout. We literally do it so we can just like check.
Sometimes we'll add stuff to the list just to check it off.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of sick.
But then it's great. It's great. It feels so good. Like the dopamine rush is just real heady. But we've gone through life together and we've experienced so many similar things. We both have 3 kids. We've had similar backgrounds and all of that. We order the same thing at restaurants a lot of times without knowing it. Like we took the team to dinner last month and we ordered the exact same thing, even though we were on other sides of the table. So we are the same enough, but just different enough where we never, and even when we weren't working together, we rarely compete for the same business. Like our spheres don't overlap. So there's never been a feeling where I've been like, ugh.
Well, and one thing, and this goes to like the core values, is that we both have an abundance mindset. So there's never been a feeling either with Maggie or anybody on the team where we're like, well, if I have this, you don't have it. Our like underlying attitude is there is enough to go around.
Yeah.
And if we can be better, we can do better. So,
yeah.
I don't remember what your question was. But
No, that's great.
That's it.
I think you guys answering it separately created that answer together. So was there a moment in time where you knew Rooted Real Estate was supposed to happen and like you were doing the right thing?
So Adriane changed her team name to Rooted Real Estate before we combined. And I was like, it's a really good name. I wish I would have thought of that first. Maybe the only time that I felt that level of competition, like, oh, this is a good one. But no, I don't know if it was like, was it before we moved into the space together or like we hired someone together? That was the first thing we did.
Yeah.
And our teams weren't officially merged yet, but we hired
a marketing
person.
Mm-hmm.
And,
but we
That's
knew
how it
it was
started.
kind of headed in that direction. It was gradual. Yeah, it was definitely gradual.
Well,
But I will say that like even the name Rooted Real Estate, because I used to be called the Adriane Lau team. And I was like, if this is going to grow, it can't be about me. I want agents and a team that's going to take ownership in the team and not have it be the Adriane show, you know? And I mean, no shade to people that use their name because sometimes it just organically grows that way. But that was sort of the thought process. We wanted to sort of choose a name that demonstrated some of our values. Yeah.
And so you've created this fun, energetic, supportive, friendship first team that I'm sure drives your culture. What has helped you maintain that energy year after year?
our symbiotic rhythms. Like, when I am down, Adriane is up and vice versa.
And also, it is not just about us. Like we have an amazing group of people. Like Erin, our office manager, started as my assistant in 2014. I mean, she's been with me forever. Chelsea's been with us for 4 years now. We have agents that are close to a decade. I mean, it really is way bigger than just like us as the leaders. Yeah,
For sure.
And that energy and that camaraderie like is seen through everyone. We are a little family, which is great. And so it's hard, but we can also have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Because being the team leader is no easy feat, right? Like there are great days. There's probably some hard days. Being co-team leaders outside of a married couple is kind of unheard of. 2 women being team leaders together, also unheard of. What are the best parts of your partnership?
It's really hard. And it's so nice to not have to do it by yourself.
Yeah. And also, I will say, I don't think that would work for everybody. I think it does depend a little bit on personality. I don't know if you know, like the DISC, you know,
Oh, yeah.
we're not Ds
At all.
at all. And so my adaptive style was D, but it's not where I live. It's not where I feel comfortable. I'm actually, this will shock no one, a high C. And so I think that's like if somebody's thinking about growing a team or having a partnership, I think it's really important to think about your personality style because it matters.
Oh,
yeah.
It matters for sure. And like we thought a lot about it. We talked to a lot of people. We talked to the Freds in our life, to the Fred Fries in our life,
And literally to Fred
Fry about how does this work? What have you seen go right? What have you seen go wrong? We also were in coaching between, so we talked to our coaches about it. I think everybody was like, you're crazy. But and we have a partnership agreement that lays out everything about what happens from if one of us just decides we don't want to what if one of us dies or, we've thought through all the things. So it's not just like, oh, you're so fun.
Yeah. And also like extrapolate that to everything we do. We have contracts with our agents that say, this is how this is what you're going to get paid if you cover for someone. We have the partnership agreement. We have spreadsheets for literally everything.
Shocking.
A profit and loss. We're running a business. This isn't it'll be fun if we're in the same space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Because I think that's how you take a friendship and
Ruin it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's about expectations with the team, with our clients, with a lot of relationships, most of them in your life. Yeah.
Maintaining any healthy relationship, you have to have boundaries, you have to have expectations, you have to have communication all the time.
And I think trust too is like, that's where it starts. So we share a bank account. Like we trust each other implicitly of like, yeah, this is, and that started way before we even started talking about joining teams.
Not the bank account
Not
part.
the bank account part. No, that's
strange.
new.
Trust.
But the trust is where it started.
What have been some of the challenges being
Well, when we
co-leaders?
first joined, it wasn't great. Not like the energy or the culture, but we grew too fast, too quickly. I mean, we were losing $20,000 a month, like at the very beginning. And we were like, oh gosh. And that meant we had to let some people go that weren't producing. They were wonderful people. We still see
like them, still talk to them.
But that was, without question, that was the hardest thing.
Yeah.
It is when it's not working and it's a decision that you know needs to happen. But also, if I were on my own, I would wait 6 more months to make a decision that I know needs to be made. Whereas when you're in leadership together, it's like, all right,
I guess we're doing this now.
Just do it right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
You know,
Rip the Band-Aid off.
And I think there's a bigger sense of accountability to one another where, to your point, like maybe I'm not going to go to the doctor for me, for example, but I'm going to go because I want to set a good example for my kids. Like, yes, we go to the doctor in this house. We're going to review those profit and losses together. We're going to look at lead generation tools that we're using. Like, is this paying or is it taking money away from money that we could be spending elsewhere or bonusing our staff or whatever?
And that accountability is huge because when you're making those decisions, is this tool working? Is this potential lead source working? That is literally the choice. We're going to keep spending money here or we're going to give our staff a bigger bonus. Like that makes it really real, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So let's talk more about your team culture and your philosophy, right? So like what core principles guide the culture of Rooted Real Estate?
Inclusivity is really huge on our team. We believe that everybody deserves a chance to own a home, and we believe in education. We work with grownups, so we're not here to make the decision for them. We're here to say, here's some options. What do you think works best? And sometimes that means not doing business with them, and that's okay too. And community is huge too. We do a lot of stuff in the community. Did I miss anything?
No, those are the big 3 that we strive for.
I mean, I know that you do some community involvement because you guys have requested school balloon programs, client appreciation events, what have you. And I'm sure you post that all online and all that content. So I know that you are very involved with that community. You're also involved with the RE/MAX community too. Like you go to our events, you make your presence known, like people know you, right? And I think that's very important too, because you're doing it right and you're doing it the fun way. But there's also a business element to that too.
Another thing that I'll say is everyone on our team is an excellent self-starter and driven to do what they need to do.
Staff included.
Yeah, staff included. We don't have to call anybody. I'm like, are you coming in today? They will get what they need.
Which is great because we're terrible micromanagers.
Yeah.
Like we can have a plan and we can execute a plan, but we're not going to be like, hey, did you do that thing? Hey, like we just assume
that it's
again
done.
that you're a grown up and you're going to get it done. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is the current team structure with your staff and your team members?
We have 2 full-time staff. Erin, who Adriane mentioned, is our transaction coordinator and office manager and make sure that we're doing it right. And
she's actually in charge.
She's in charge. She tells us what to do. And so she knows everything. She goes into detail with our agents about what's happening with transactions and then also helps us with our mailings that we do and keeps our database. This knows how that works, which is great. And then Chelsea is the marketing position that we hired together. And that has really grown because you'd had someone before that was part-time, but I think what we've been able to create along with Chelsea is this position that is so great and has been really, really helpful. So she's our photographer and also does video.
Originally, the idea was we're spending enough on photography that we could bring that in-house and then have somebody that could also help with social media. And it sort of has grown to now she does all of our events. I mean, we're doing 7 or 8 events a year. and, some online, some in person. And so, yeah, it's really evolved as the team has evolved.
Yep. And then we had an intern last summer. That was great. He was able to help do drop-offs and stuff for us, and then just
some pop buys and yep. And then of course the agents. So we have us and then 3 other agents. Technically my dad, I think, is still on our team, but he doesn't just can't let that MLS membership go.
It's important, right?
He's retired.
important.
Yeah.
How long has he been at it now?
Well, he sold my parents their first house in 1984.
Wow.
And he was their agent. So
I think he started in 75. Yeah.
Wow. That's
Long time.
amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So being a team leader inherently means dedicating your time to your sellers and buyers, but also developing your staff and your agents. What is the reward for that pursuit?
to see their dreams come true.
Oh, I was going to say economies of scale. Yours is better. We can say them both.
Well, we did some reviews yesterday. We meet with our agents and staff quarterly, individually, and to just keep, okay, is this still what your goal is? What do you need to do to get there? That kind of thing, just to have those conversations and to go through those of what you wrote down in October of 2024. And oh my gosh, you did all of them.
Yeah.
Look at you.
That's really
great.
cool. And because we'll have goals I want to do this many transactions, but also we met with some of our agents yesterday, and one of them said, I really want to go to Europe with my wife. I'm like, that's a great goal. Yes, do that.
How can we make that happen for you, right?
Yes.
What can I do to support you in that goal?
Because you have that big goal, and then you work backwards into, well, what is it going to take? And it's more motivating than, just a number.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. So when you are considering bringing someone into your team, what are some non-negotiables for you?
Well,
they have to have an iPhone. They don't. We have two droids. It's terrible.
We've joked about that. Full-time. We have tried it before with folks that are working as a second job, and for our structure, it just doesn't work.
Yep. And then, from there, it's picking up the tools. So we've refined this over the years, but we have a 90-day period where it's let's see if this is going to work for both of us. And we want to see that they are a self-starter and that they're using the tools that are available to them. Because again, I'm not going to micromanage and be this week you need to do A, B, and C. I don't have time to do that. But I think that you get a good feel for just the energy of a person. If they're coming into the space, are they elevating everybody? Are they dragging them down? Not to say, we've never had anybody that was an energy vampire or anything like that. But different personalities do better in different settings.
And to your point, not everybody has they think they know what real estate is about, right?
Sure.
They think this is the profession where you just show up, show a house, sign some papers, and it's good to go. But that's not the reality, right? There's a lot of behind the scenes that happen both as a team and individual. You do have to be a self-starter. You do need to be organized. You do need to be outgoing and diligent on reaching out to people. So not holding their hand necessarily through every single process, but acknowledging this is not what you may have thought it would be.
And I will also say that there are different, we actually do a disc profile for everybody before they start, because we know a high D won't work on our team. It's just not going to work. But that actually could be a really amazing fit for a different team. So we actually interviewed somebody this week, and I said to him, and actually think he could be a good fit, but I was I want you to talk to 3 teams, because I need you to know the options. I need you to know where do you think your personalities fit? I want people that are buying in and they sort of self-selected that this is a good fit.
What we're doing, he came on a ride-along day. And that's the day where we dressed up as elves and went all around town. So if that's not your bag,
he called back.
But he called
we
back.
Didn't scare him away. Cool.
This will be great for a first day, just to see what this is real estate. And people that have sense of humor and aren't going to take things too seriously, because it can be heavy. And I think people that have longevity in this business, it's not that they have a specific skill or something extra special in their pocket. It's just that they continue to get back up, because still after being in for more than 20 years, half of the job is rejection, right? So it's the people that are like, okay, I'm gonna try it again.
I did my numbers yesterday because of course I did. And of the listing appointments I went on last year, I got 64% of them.
That's great.
So I was rejected the other, do the math. I don't know. You're looking at me. I can't do math in my head right now. But I guess my point is, yes, like you don't ever get to a point where you're like, everybody loves me now. Like, of course not. You're going to work well with both team members and clients that, core values and personality align the best.
And it's so important to recognize that and understand, like, you are a good fit, but you're not a good fit for me. So let me help you along the way.
I've never met somebody interviewing and be like, well, you're just a bad person.
Right.
Like,
doesn't happen.
That's not it.
So how do you intentionally cultivate an environment where fun meets accountability?
Well, we have a
meets
spreadsheet.
growth?
Yeah, we have a spreadsheet for fun.
Not everything can be on a spreadsheet. Personalities cannot be on a spreadsheet.
we know, like, and we try different things. We're not scared to try things. And some things really, really work well for the team and some things don't. So what we noticed is like certain competitions were not working well because maybe doing well made somebody else feel bad that they weren't winning. And so when we do communal,
working towards a
common goal. So we have challenged different teams over the past year.
So do you have any stories that you can share or any proud moments where a team member stood out or shined based on the growth that they found with your team?
There's been a lot.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, every time somebody is setting a goal, and to be perfectly honest, sometimes they set it and I'm like, okay.
That's really aggressive of you.
And then they get it. And it's like, wow, that is really, really cool. Yeah.
We've got two of our agents have obtained platinum status this year, which is so hard to do. And I know professionally those are goals for them, but I think their personal goals are more impressive. And to watch the people do life with, one of our agents took a longer vacation than 3 days this year. That was actually 2, which was really, really amazing growth for them to trust that things are going to be done. So,
yep.
So we've talked about your agents and their success stories, but what about you and your clients? If someone asked you today, what makes Rooted Real Estate Team different? What would your answer be?
My thought was, I got a phone call one time from an investor that I've known him for a long time, more than 20 years. And we work together. We have seen some of the stinkiest, grossest houses, $17,000. I think he bought a house for $11,000 one time.
We've done this a long time.
Seen a lot of things.
But he called me one day and he said, Maggie, I just want to let you know, because of what we've done together, because of what we've built together, I was just able to retire from my job. That's impactful to a point where
that goes beyond the transaction.
It goes beyond the transaction. It goes like I've known him for so many years and we've seen some stuff. And to know that I was able to, I didn't get the money for him. But I was there to help and support him.
And also now it's getting to the point where you've seen these people, they bought it with their fiance and then they sold that one and bought with their kids. And now you're seeing all the different stages of life too. It's, and maybe their parents now, they need to sell the family home and it's like a web.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yep. Well, that's awesome. So you guys are consistently at the top, one of the top teams in the region, year after year after year. It doesn't just happen like that, right? Can you dive deeper into the structure and processes of your team?
It's about spreadsheets.
It's about spreadsheets.
It's out of town.
It is. We do set really ambitious goals. And I will say that last year, first quarter, I don't honestly know what happened, but I got way behind and I did not like it. I did not like not having the pending board that I have grown accustomed to, but I'm so grateful that I did because it was a good reminder of hey, this is not promised. This is not given. Like if you don't want to work hard, fine. Someone else will take those clients for you. So to get that fire back in my belly of like, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna make my calls. I'm gonna go make a difference with these people.
And I think that that's it, right? Like the question is, because we're doing this, because I'm sure other people are gonna be like, well, what can I do, right? And at the end of the day, there's no magic. If you do 100 open houses, you're gonna close 10 deals. And so I keep joking about spreadsheets, but you can set those goals and systematize it. So you know exactly what's going to happen. If I want this goal, then I need to make this many phone calls. It's pretty.
I'm like laughing because our right now our agents have continued to be very productive. Like we all are doing very well for this time of year. And I was like, oh, it's so surprising. Like, no, it's not surprising.
Yeah.
Because we have a spreadsheet for it.
To talk about a little bit of the structure of like our SOPs. Or just the way that the team is structured. Mondays are like to catch up from the weekend. So our office manager is updating files. You know, we're just kind of getting set what's getting listed this week. Tuesday is the day that we work on the team. So we meet with Chelsea. We go through our marketing plan. So every month we say, these are the things we're going to do this month. And this is everything from client events to literally what Instagram posts we're going to do. Are we going to run a contest? What past client mailing are we doing? All of those kinds of things. So sort of the bigger picture,
trainings
the important but not urgent items.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have our team meetings also on Tuesday. And that is like the only thing where we're like, you all can do whatever you want the rest of the week. You're going to be here on Tuesday at 1:00. We're all going to get together. We're going to talk about challenges. We're going to do trainings. And we're going to talk. We coach with a national level coach, Tom Ferry. And we're going to talk about what we learned with our coach. You know, this is the obligatory meeting. And then from there, we really have written down like, okay, an open house, what's the process for what's going to happen? When are the ads going out? Who's taking the signs? Who's printing the sign-in sheet? Because those things all need to happen. And they need to happen consistently and well. I think that going forward, we've been talking about this. The next year, you guys, we are used to putting a house on the market and it's sold. It is going to be about seller updates. That is how the business, people are going to be losing listings. They don't know how to ask for price reductions. They don't know how to keep in touch with a seller because for 7 years, they've all sold in less than 30 days. And I think that we are already starting to see that shift. Well, we have some processes from long ago. When we started, the average market time was 12 months.
Like you'd sign a 6-month listing and hope that it's sold.
Listing.
Gosh, I hope I get a showing this month. And that's wild. But yeah, we've been able to bring that in. And an agent that I used to work for that we were business partners before, her thing, she loved the challenges of expired listings, which I think is wild because
Special
talk
breed
about
there.
rejection.
Yeah.
But one thing that she heard consistently over all of those years of calling and talking to people is they just put a sign in my yard. They never heard from him again. And so I remember that. And that's one big thing that we do for our clients, whether it's a buyer or seller, is we want to make sure that we are in communication with them in a lot of different ways.
And I think that if people are watching this thinking like, what can I do to sort of level up? And we're thinking about what are our lead pillars going to be? For us, it's past client referrals and sphere of influence. Last year, that was 62% of our business.
Wow.
And so that's where we're spending the most of our resources because that is most of our business. Now, we also have some Zillow stuff. We also have, we do these events that I was referencing, a seller seminar here and there, but those are they're not the meat of the business. And for everybody, it's different. We have some agents that love open houses and that's a lead pillar for them. Some people like to call expireds, whatever, go for it. Some people like door knocking. I mean, there's 100 different ways and it goes back to that personality thing. What's going to be an authentic fit for your personality? Like for me, like knocking on a stranger's door is very low on the list of things that I want to do. But some people have success with that because they
like it.
They like it, you know?
The element of surprise, right? But I think it also goes back to basics for each of those personalities, right? Like write the note cards, knock on the doors, show up to a listing, show up to an open house. Like sometimes we have to get rid of the noise and go back to basics.
And we are all getting probably still in February, getting calls from companies that are like, I've got it. I've got the magic pill for you. No, you don't. Nope. Save your money. I can just tell you, like, just don't sign up for it. It's not going to work. You're going to waste money. What works is sitting in open houses, being friendly, knowing your stuff, knowing your stats, calling people back when they call you, period.
Yeah.
Yep.
So do you guys do any annual planning, or how do you set your own goals and measure success yourselves?
We do. We start our business plan in October with our coach. And so basically the answer is what I just said, right? Mm-hmm. So it's, okay, why do you want to do this? What do you want to make? How many transactions is that? How many calls do you need to make to make those transactions? And it, I want to say gamifies it, but it breaks it down into chunks that are very digestible.
Tangible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then once we kind of have those lead pillars set, and again, the biggest pillar is past clients and past client referrals. So for us, that is mailings and emails and events. And what are we going to do to, lift those people up and stay in contact so that they don't forget us and they're giving us those referrals. I mean, first you got to do a good job originally. And then in November is when we start planning with the agents. And then we finalized our plan this week. So, because we met with all the agents and now we know exactly what we're going to do in 2026, hopefully. But yes. And And then from there, you just fill in the marketing plan and everything else to make sure you're doing the activities that will keep you.
The execution.
One other thing, though, that this isn't directly related, but I think it's important if people are watching this thinking like, is there something that I can do? There's a book called The Miracle Morning for real estate agents. I don't remember who the author is, but I'm sure you can Google it. And I think that plays into the mindset, which is actually something that happens before all the planning. So in this Miracle Morning, it talks about starting your day with, exercise, and I can't remember all of the things, but it plays into the mindset that you've got to get into before you even start, before you even show up at the office. And you have to show up at the office.
Yeah. Thank you. So let's talk about the highs, the lows, and all the lessons learned in between. Is there a story that you can share that is one of your highest highs as a team, or something that made you step back and look at each other and say, we built this?
I like it when we were at the Home and Garden Show and multiple people said, we see you guys everywhere. Total strangers, never met them before. But because we are so intentional about our social media presence and recording videos and dressing up as elves, that messaging is getting out to people. That was like, this is working.
I think that for me, like you say, the highs, yes, but the lows, like if you don't get a listing or you lose a client, if I did my best and I didn't get it, I'm fine with that. But if I didn't prepare, like if I didn't do the things I know I need to do, and when you're just starting, it's okay to not get every client or listing because you're still, well, I'm not going to say if you're just starting. I think it's forever because you're always adapting and you're always getting better and learning, because the way that we market homes in 2026 is totally different than when we started in 2006. I mean, I didn't have a smartphone.
You could only have like 6 pictures in the MLS.
Like I remember one day driving to the office and I was like, oh, I forgot my phone. That's okay. I don't need it. Yeah. I'll get it tonight. Like that's how different it is. Right. So, so the lows are just like, if I didn't do the best that I could do. Yeah.
You're more disappointed in yourself.
Yeah.
Anything else. So there are lots of different team structures. Some teams have team members for over 10 years. Others develop agents right out the gate, right? How does this play out in your team?
I want everybody to stay forever.
Yeah. Fuck 'em.
Yeah. Not really, because I'm not really a hugger.
Oh.
I hugged you and it's great.
I gave you a hug. You didn't push me away.
But it's socially acceptable. But I love getting to know them and just knowing their hearts and what drives them. And I enjoy everybody on our team right now so much that when team members go away, and we've lost team members, and
they're still alive. None of them died.
No.
Oh boy.
Oh,
We're going in a
I'm
hole.
sorry. She wasn't on our team
She
anymore.
wasn't on our team anymore. But, you get to know these people in a really special way. And for me, I'm really busy and I do a lot with work. And so I have really, really great relationships with the people that I work with directly because I see them all the time. I am not as good as fostering those relationships outside of work because I work and then I have kids and they need attention too. So when they're not on the team, I don't see them anymore. And that makes me sad. So I would love it for everybody. And I think we've created a culture and a structure where somebody could stay forever and have a really, really great career with us.
Well, and I agree with that because of all of the things that we do, you couldn't do on your own the same way for so many different reasons, whether you're sharing the cost of this really great staff or this really great mailing or this really great event. Like the client events that we do are super fun, but they would be so much
so
on your
exhausting.
own. Yeah. But to have, 7 people showing up and sharing in that makes it not only fun, but doable. I mean, I definitely couldn't do that on my own.
Yeah. And it makes your presence louder and I'm sure your reach longer and all that jazz that goes into that too. So what lessons have you learned about leadership along the way? And what do you often share with others about leading a team?
So this is going to sound weird with all the rest of the stuff that I've said, but I'm toxically independent. It's really, really hard for me to ask for help. Like it's one of my goals this year to ask for help every day. Like ask someone for help. Like literally, like it's so bad. My husband's like, "Do you want me to help you get?" And I'm, no, I can do it myself. So to better understand collaboration and how this past year I started this idea of an inflatable race where we get into inflatables. I don't know. Yeah.
How many inflatable costumes do you own?
Maybe 6. I don't know.
As one does, right?
As one does. Listen,
I have a 6-year-old that does not have an inflatable
I want to
costume.
have the kind of life where if somebody calls me up and like, "Hey, we're dressing up as bleh," I got you. And I will be there in costume because you just never know.
You just never know.
So the unicorn that I've been wearing to Pride has been so fun over the years. And so I just had this idea of I want to raise money for an organization that's here in Lansing. I want a dance party. I was feeling really, really low. And I was like, wouldn't it be fun if just a bunch of people came together in inflatables and just danced? And so I got some other agents that weren't necessarily just from our brokerage, but from around Lansing to come in. And then all of a sudden it was like, why don't we do a race? Why don't we do it in front of the Capitol? Why don't we do it as part of 517 Day, which is, like a big Lansing celebration? And so being able to talk to those people, we were able to plan this crazy thing, which kind of was a bust because it was so windy.
Aw, and the inflatable costumes don't help.
It was like a 0.00517 K.
0.0517. It's 168 feet, but we did it in front of the Capitol.
It was fun.
It was hilarious. We raised money. I was able to bring a check to the organization. And if I would have just done that on my own, and never we would have even gotten off the ground because I'm like, oh, permit's too expensive, but collaboration. So that's a good example of why I need the team and what it can do.
Yeah. Which kind of leads me to my next question here. It seems like individual agents looking to become a team leader underestimate the pivot in that role, right? In that dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Are you developing a team to help yourself or are you developing a team to help others? And clearly you're developing a team that helps others, in turn helps you. But what does that look like and how does that feel?
I think it has to be both, right? Like if you're not going to have a successful team, if you're like, I'm here so I can make all the money, like that's not a compelling reason either to do it or to join it. So, I think it ties into all of the things that we've talked about as far as collaboration and an abundance mindset. And if you're doing it right, it should be better for everybody on the team, including your staff, including your agents, and including yourselves as team leaders.
So after 11 years, is it worth it?
Sometimes. No, no,
Of course.
absolutely.
Yeah, we before we joined, we would call each other at least twice a year. Like, all right, I got my application for the state of Michigan ready to go.
It's true.
I'm gonna hit submit.
Going back to school. I'm going to be a therapist.
Yeah, and we haven't done that.
I mean, it used to be twice a year. Now it's like once every other year.
Yeah.
It's minimized that.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
So you guys have mentioned this before in your marketing. You're very heavy on social media. You have a lot of fun doing so. Why do you feel that that's so important and contributing to your greater community through your events and your social media? Why is that important to you?
Well, through social media and through video, you're able to really convey your personality and our values and our everything else, like our love of the community. And so for people to be able to see that, and we've had several people come to us over the past couple of years and like, we saw your video that you did on this. We want to work with you because we already laid the groundwork of like, hey, this is who we are. If you want to come and be a part of it, like, cool. If you don't, totally fine.
But also, I want to add to that. It isn't the most important thing. It's very far down on the list. If somebody is just starting, social media you shouldn't even touch it because it can be such a time suck with such a small, like that is later. That is culture building. That is community building. When you're starting, you need to talk to people. You need to do open houses. You need to make calls. So I think it depends on where you are in your career as well.
And we don't spend
like we literally have a Chelsea that does this for us.
Right.
Like I don't even know my password for Instagram.
Oh, I actually locked myself out. I don't know.
I found out this week that like people can send you messages on Instagram and then you can click and there they are. I had no idea. So, I mean, yeah, we're there, but I don't want a newer agent to watch this and be like, this is the thing I should spend my time on because I don't believe that that's true. I think that that's part of why you join a team is so that somebody else can do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel through this conversation, I mean, you guys are real estate agents, you're real estate leaders, but more importantly, you want to be involved with your community. And that's beautiful, right? So how have you ever sat back and let the enormity of the lives that you've touched really sink in?
No, I'll cry.
Let's do it right now.
Right? Reflection. That doesn't happen on a spreadsheet, right? That's real feel.
True. Yeah.
So I think a lot of us on the team teach the first time homebuyer class, the realtor section that you have to take to be able to get MSHA. And I always start my classes by congratulating these people for taking this huge step that probably seemed really scary and seemed unobtainable, but they're doing it. And it's not just going to impact their lives. It's going to impact their kids' lives. It's going to impact their friends' lives, their cousin who sees them own this house and like, oh my gosh, what can I do that too? It's about creating a space where you belong, a safe place, and the hope that comes along with all those things. So that's goosebump thing for me.
Yeah. Almost like your why, right?
It literally, we did the Simon Sinek book together several years ago, and we were both like in the conference room, like crying. And it's like, that's it. You found it.
If you don't know the book, it's called Find Your Why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. And they have a workbook too. You can put it in a spreadsheet.
But you don't have to.
So what excites you about the future of Rooted Real Estate? What's coming? What's down the pipeline?
I'm excited to see some of our agents have goals to buy investment property and, just to see where all of that can go, I think. Yeah, we've got some big goals.
Yeah. What about the two of you? What are you excited about partnering and leading?
I just had a really big year. Like I did a lot of stuff. Like I moved and like my daughter graduated high school. Like that's what you've got coming up next year. Oh God.
Yeah. Well, 27. Yeah.
Pass your anxiety onto her.
Yeah. I'm gonna pay for college, I guess.
I'm excited to continue just work is fun and exciting every day. You never know. Like, I mean, I've got a plan of how my day is going to go, but it often gets sidetracked. And to be able to do it with such an amazing group of people that care as much as I do about the people that we're serving. And we get to meet some of the coolest people. I know that this is a podcast that goes out everywhere, but Lansing, Michigan has got some of the neatest, most creative, kindest people that we're so lucky to be able to meet and work with.
That's awesome. So if we rewind and if you could give your younger selves before you started in real estate one piece of advice, what would that be?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
And I'm going to let Maggie answer it.
Oh, my default is to be really snarky about it.
Put your money on the Chiefs. I don't. If the Chiefs are a real team,
buy
I don't
all
know.
the $11,000 houses. Just with each change, it's going to be okay. You're going to figure it out because we've seen so many different changes in the industry and so many different changes in.
God, that's really
in
good
our
one.
society. Like, you know, we made it through the foreclosure crisis. We made it through COVID. Like, what's next? I don't
Bring it
know.
on, right?
But you're right, because I think you need to take that and say, okay, when something doesn't go right, what am I going to learn from this? And when something goes right, the same thing. Like it's about growth, right? And I don't just mean like I'm going to sell 10 more transactions this year, but I mean your own personal growth. And yeah, definitely learning from those things.
Those are great answers. Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been a lot of fun, but also I think people will have a lot of nuggets to walk away with and implement themselves in their careers. It's been very insightful, and just thank you for opening your personalities to us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
And listeners, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Recharge. If you like this episode, give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss another one. Thank you.